I've recently found out that I can't actually buy these boards on their own anymore. So the only way I can buy them is bundled with a main board. Don't really want to do that at the moment. So what I've decided to do is replace all the ICs on what I think is a broken EDP board using components that I bought, extra components I bought when I bought components for the PCBs I had made up. These also don't work, which isn't good, so if this doesn't work I'll probably look at maybe doing a bit of debug on these to see if I can find out what the problem is. And if that doesn't work, maybe look at buying yet another main board which comes bundled with an EDP board, and that really should work, unless I've had duff LCDs. So I'm going to swap these chips out. I've got, I think, at least one of everything that's needed. So if there's a broken chip on here, which might be the case because I think a high voltage went down through maybe the I2C bus or some other signals from the battery board when the battery controller blew up, so maybe one of these is damaged. So I maybe replace one at a time and see if it makes any difference. I don't know my soldering's good enough to replace some of these, but hopefully we'll be alright. So we'll see what happens. So there's no success with the EDP board at the moment, but what I have done, I've bought one of these HDMI to EDP converter boards, and this is one of the spare, well, it's the spare LCD that I bought in case the LCD in the Novena had broken. And this is fine, so the LCD is fine, and I've tried this on the one in the Novena as well, and that's fine. So at the moment, the only thing that isn't working is the EDP board. I don't really know why at the moment. It could be my rubbish soldering or something else, I'm not sure. So I'm going to keep working on that. But what I could do, I could use this using a shorter HDMI cable. This one goes all over the place. From the HDMI on the Novena main board into this board, so I could fit this board in the case instead of the EDP board. It's a bit bigger, and unfortunately it is HDMI, but the biggest problem with that would be the HDMI cable. I suppose when I open the lid I could just plug it in. That's going to get a bit irritating, I suspect. So I could maybe make a board with this chip, or take that circuit and change the form factor. But it would be nice to get one of the EDP boards working, so I'm going to keep going on that. So I do know now that it's not the LCDs. Both of them are absolutely fine. So it must be the EDP board now that isn't working, or some setting maybe in the Novena. I've changed the setting in the, let's bring it up, in the Novena EEPROM tool, that one. So in there, in that tool, there's a setting down here, IT6251 LVDS to EDP bridge, and that is checked, so that is on in the EEPROM. So I don't know what's going on at the moment. So I need to check the EDP boards, but at least the LCDs are fine. I did wonder if the LCD in the Novena had blown up, but it hasn't. It works perfectly. So nearly there, just this pesky EDP board.